Hi Gemini, welcome to your love and romance reading for December 2022. This is for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus. You might stumble upon this in a few months, a few weeks. It's all good. You're going to see it whenever you're meant to see the message. Keep in mind, it is a general reading for the collective, so not every single message is going to resonate, and that's okay. Take what does, leave what doesn't, and without further ado, my dears and my darlings, we're going to connect and see what messages are coming up here for the Gemini collective. One more shuffle. Let's get right on into it. I'll move you all just a little bit closer. And the card that we have coming up here is the Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady wins the race. Consistency, commitment, stability. This could also be earth sign energy. Maybe some of you are focusing on some earth sign placements, and or like one of your earth sign placements, one of those houses or areas of your life. You could be strengthening your love life as a result, or meeting a significant love interest here in this way. You could be dealing with an earth sign person. Earth sign people being Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. But the Knight of Pentacles here is going to be about stability and commitment and consistency. This could also be the desire to go slow and to take things slow. Now, for some reason, when I looked at this card, and I've seen this card several times, and you guys that watch my readings, you know this is not my first time using this deck, and I don't recall ever having this message or this feeling or this vibe jump out at me from the Knight of Pentacles. But for some reason, the horse jumped out at me, and as I was looking at the horse, I caught like this mental image of like a old funeral procession, like horses pulling a coffin. And so this gives me the feeling in the sense that you could be dealing with a relationship with someone who's coming out of a time of mourning or grieving. Perhaps there could have been a literal passing away of a love partner or a significant relationship, or they could just be mourning or grieving the loss of something in their life. It could be a loved one that passed on, that they're mourning or grieving. Perhaps it's you, Gemini. You might be the one who's coming out of a period of mourning or grieving. But I feel for this reason, there may be a desire to go slow. It could be a little difficult for this person to really open up and fully love, because they still might be feeling burned by that loss. And so it could be someone who's like, okay, here I go, I'm going to trust. Now, I want to clarify something, because I know some of you are going to come at me at the comments and be like, I don't want them if they're not ready, and it's not my job to heal anybody. I'm not telling you to heal anybody, because the energy that I feel here, this person has made the decision that they're ready. This person has made the decision that they're going to have this relationship. But coming out of what they've come out of, I feel like this is someone who wants to go slow. So this person could be slow about the physical aspects of the relationship. They could be slow about holding hands. They could be slow about embracing or cuddling or physical intimacy. They might really kind of want to take things slow in terms of not necessarily in terms of labels, but like, you know, this might not be someone who's looking to move in together in 6 months, right? Or if a relationship is being reconciled, they may be wanting to go slow and in the reconciling process. So I feel here there's a sense or a feeling of commitment, loyalty, but like this slow and steady energy. And for whatever reason, I feel like underneath this going slow is some experience of loss, getting over a loss and a period of mourning or grieving. The next card that's coming up here for the Gemini collective is the Two of Cups. So there is affection here. There's true love. There's a soulmate connection. Two of Cups is giver meets giver. I do feel here there may also be a difference some way in like cultural backgrounds in this relationship. So if it's not cultural, it could be like a class thing. Like maybe you grew up in different classes or different like maybe one grew up in a very blue collar, one grew up in a very white collar. Or there could be a difference in terms of like cultures or backgrounds, but I do feel there's a difference in upbringing. I do feel, however, a sense of like mirrored energy. So despite the fact that you might come from different backgrounds or different socioeconomic backgrounds, I feel that your experiences in life have been very similar to one another. I feel like you're going to relate a lot. I also feel like there's a lot of talking here. Talk, 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 talk. Lots of talking. Okay. Maybe somebody here, I just got the Elvis song in my head. A little less talk and a lot more action. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction in me. There could be one person here who like is like, come on, like, they're ready. They're ready to go to the next level. They're ready to be physically intimate. And there may be one person here who's just like, they're still opening up. They're still bearing their soul. They're still talking. They're still like feeling safe. And the other person also is bearing their soul and feeling safe. But like, I feel like one person is really getting hot and bothered. Like it's making them want the next thing even more. And one person is like the air fryer and one person is like the crock pot, right? One person's like the Instapot, one person's like the crock pot. But the person who's like the crock pot, it's like I said, because there's been some things here that they're getting over and they're like, okay, I'm gonna trust, I'm gonna open up, I'm gonna let myself love again. But I feel a lot of communication, a lot of talking, a lot of bonding through talking. There may also be something in the water here. Like I feel like you two may take a trip to do something involving water. I don't get the ocean. And depending on where you live in the world, it might be a little cold to go like to the lake. Some people like doing that though. Some people will go in the freezing cold water. It could be like hot springs, going to the hot springs someplace if you live in a place where there's hot springs, or maybe planning a trip to like someplace far away that has like a famous hot springs or like volcanic waters. For some reason, I get the feeling or the sense of like hot water, like being in the hot water, relaxing, unwinding, bonding, talking. For some of you, when the relationship finally does transition into the physical intimacy, it could very well be in like the water or like a hot tub or a hot spring or something. I don't know. You'll have to keep me posted, Gemini, and let me know how that goes. But I feel something here about like being in like soothing, healing, hot or like warm waters. So there could be some kind of a trip together or some kind of getaway where you may be doing this. Let's see, communication, talking. I also feel in the communication, there's a sense of like being heard, like honestly being heard. I feel, Gemini, some of you have had this experience that like has driven you nuts, where you tell people very personal things. And like sometime later down the road, it'll come up and they'll be like, oh, Gemini, I didn't know that happened to you. I didn't know about that. And you're like, what? Like in your head, you're like, I only had to tell you the same story 5 times, and every single time it comes up, you act like you never heard about it. Like maybe you're not telling this person to their face how aggravated you are. But I feel some of you have had these situations where you have expressed some personal things to people, or you have told them a very deeply personal thing about yourself. But then when it comes up in conversation later, every single time it comes up, it's like they have no memory. Like somebody wiped their memory clean and they're like, what? Like it's their first time hearing about it. I feel in this situation with this person, like they're hearing it. They're hearing it and they're going to remember it. They're going to remember the things you tell them. And I feel for some of you, you're like, hallelujah, praise the Lord. That in itself is like, oh my God, if I could just find somebody who remembers the things I tell them about my life. I feel this person like remembers that they retain information about you. They're able to keep it and hold on to it and reference it later. And so I feel there's a sense here of being able to understand each other, being able to remember the experiences that you both have had, and just a sense of bonding through a lot of talk, a lot of talking. Which other sign was it? I felt there was another sign that there was, I don't know if it was, no, I don't think it was Leo. It may have been one of the fire signs, but I felt a sense of like, oh my gosh, I've never told this to anybody before. Um, I wish I could remember which sign it was. But if you do know and you're watching this, please put it in the comments so that if somebody has that placement, they can go and watch that video, because that aspect is similar and there could be messages in it that are helpful to people that have your same placement. I can't remember which sign it was. I want to say it was one of the fire signs. I could be wrong. Or maybe it was one of the earth signs. I'm not sure. But if you came across that video, put it in the put which sign it was in the comments so people can click on the playlist in the description of the video and go watch it if they have that placement, or if they're dealing with a person that has that sign. Another thing I feel too here is like, Gemini, I feel like a lot of you have been in situations where when you do tell your feelings to people and they do hear you, they find some way later on to use it against you. And like kind of like blame you for feeling that way. And it's like ammunition against you. But with this person, it's not like that. Like when you tell them things, there's affection, there's compassion. They care about you, right? They're not going to use it against you later. It's not going to be something that goes in one ear and out the other. So real true bonding, connection, and healthy communication. Your next card here is the Seven of Pentacles, and so this could be putting in hard work, and that hard work is going to pay off. That hard work is going to go well. You know, things are going to succeed. The relationship is going to succeed. The efforts that you're putting forth are going to be worthwhile. I do feel a sense and a feeling, though, here of like being in nature and doing things together in nature. So this could be someone that you're bonding with through conversation and doing things together outdoors. Maybe you guys are going to get together and do some kind of business. That could be a possibility with Seven of Pentacles, but I'm getting more of like a nature vibe. So maybe like going on picnics, going on hikes, going on nature walks, going to I don't know. You get the idea. Going to like sightseeing, maybe camping. You know, doing things in the outdoors. I feel this is gonna be a way in which you're bonding, and I feel a lot of this, to be honest. Like even going in the water, like being in nature together. I feel like it's you guys are creating this sense of like being on an island together. So maybe like if this is an existing relationship that you've been together a long time, the relationship maybe is being renewed as you're going off and doing things together alone and spending time in nature alone. It's almost like you're putting yourselves on this virtual island. You haven't left civilization. You haven't up and relocated, but when you all are together, it's like you're in your own little world. You're like in your own little island. And I feel like spending time in nature is magnifying this sense or magnifying this feeling where it just feels like it's just the two of you and nobody else. And this is giving me a feeling or the sense of like a safe haven, like a safe haven. There could also be a lot of like, making love in the outdoors, making love in nature. I don't know if this is something that some of you are specifically manifesting. or if this is a part of your healing. Maybe this is like a part of your healing or a part of your release. But for some reason, I do get a sense or a feeling that some of you may be doing that kind of stuff in the outdoors or in nature. I'm not sure what the laws are where you are. I would just say be cautious. The paralegal in me from back in the day thinks about those things from time to time. My brain just goes there about, like, the law and stuff like that. So I would just say be cautious and know where you are and know what's okay. But for some reason, there could be this sense of like being in nature and bonding in nature emotionally, physically, uh, out in this these areas that are away from everybody else. Um, I just feel also there's like a desire for simplicity, like in this relationship, like just I don't know. It almost feels to me like two people who are coming together that like want to go off grid. Like maybe like you both want to go off grid, or you're wanting to create some kind of homestead or like live off the land in some way. I'm getting a sense or a feeling of like not traveling back in time, but really simplifying things and doing things in an old school way. You guys might be looking into or learning together about like growing your own food, um, raising livestock, looking and researching and like getting land or like solar power, or I don't know. I just feel there's a sense here of wanting to create a little place away from everybody, a little place where like it's your world, it's your haven, it's your sanctuary, um, and just kind of living life together, enjoying together, and being in nature. And I don't know, I get that vibe of like living off the land. The next card that's coming up here for the Gemini collective is the moon. So there could be Pisces or Cancer energy here. If you have Pisces or Cancer placements, there could be big changes or big shifts happening for you in those houses or in those areas of your life that are opening the door here to this love connection and to the progression of this relationship. Some of you could be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer that could be a very significant soulmate. Now, the moon card also comes up for me in readings to say that we're going to have a lot of really, really significant shifts happening in the coming moon cycles. We had the lunar eclipse. Is this the moon or the sun? I don't know. I'm getting a sun vibe from here. I'm getting more of a sun vibe. Maybe it's supposed to be a moon, but I'm getting a sun vibe. So with the moon, I was just trying to see if it's like being repeated or repetitive, because there would be a message in that, but I'm not getting a repetitiveness. So with the moon, okay, this lunar eclipse in Taurus that we had about a month ago, we're going to be feeling that energy for at least the next 5 months. And that's going to bring us stability, security, long-term kind of stuff. No more of the seasonal, temporary stuff, but long-term stuff. So I do feel, Gemini, that some of you are going to feel very grounded, maybe more so than you ever have, especially if you have Gemini in water placements. Like maybe one of your placements is Gemini and then one of your placements is Pisces or Cancer. You may have felt very scattered for a long time, and you may have just felt like you haven't been able to get roots put in, or it may have felt like every relationship is a lesson. Every relationship is like I'm a blessing to somebody else, or I'm healing somebody else, or I'm holding up a mirror for them to discover themselves. Or you may have felt like you're not getting much out of your relationships, or that your relationships have been very transitory, very temporary. And I feel with this moon card here, you're getting a sense of stability. Like you're tapping into that Taurus energy. the full moon in Taurus, which is bringing us security. So you may be feeling more grounded, but still connected with your feelings. And some of you have been blocked in your love life because of this reason. You haven't been grounded. And when you try to ground yourself, the only way you could have grounded yourself is by shutting off your feelings. And when you shut off your feelings, it's not going to make for a successful relationship. And this has been the struggle that some of you Geminis have been having. But I feel like now you're coming into this shift. You're going to be grounded. You're going to be ready to put down roots, and you're still going to be connected with your feelings and your emotions. And you're coming into permanence and commitment, releasing your fears, your insecurities, and opening up to this Two of Cups energy, Seven of Pentacles, doing the work, sticking together, that hard work paying off, progress in the relationship and in the connection. Your next card here, my darlings, is another major arcana card. So now we have major arcana cards coming in back to back. This could be a relationship where these changes and progressions happen very quickly. Okay, even though we're going slow, the growth or the healing may happen very quickly, and we may start off slow and then they might speed up because it's like, oh, well, we're healing, we're vibing, we're connecting, and now we can release the fear, now we can release the pain, now we're ready, like we're getting over that hurdle and things are moving along quickly. Sometimes major arcana cards back to back for me are things being sped up. This could also be Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. If you have Libra placements, you may want to check out the Libra reading for the week. Or you could have big shifts in those houses or areas of your life that are benefiting or blessing your love life. Or you could be dealing with a Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Justice is also contracts and agreements. And so I feel that this is like a binding relationship. This is a binding connection because you all are coming into a contract together. You're bringing your heads together, you're bringing your hearts together, and you're making it work. I feel a strong sense of there's a lot of love here. We understand each other. And there's things that we want in life. We want the same things in life. And we're going to work together as a team. We're going to work together as partners. And we're going to make this happen. This feels to me like old school marriage. Like back in the day, people would get... There's love here. Don't get me wrong. There's love here with the Two of Cups. There's soulmate here with the Two of Cups. But it feels to me like old school marriage where it's like... You come together and you have common goals, right? You're tending to the land. You're tending to the family. You're working together for survival. You're working together towards goals. You are, if there's a problem, you're going to work it out. You're going to fix it. You're going to talk it out. You're going to honor your word. You're going to honor your commitments. It feels very old school to me in a very beautiful way. You may want to check out your moon sign, rising sign, Venus sign. If this is none of those, sometimes your other placements might resonate more. There is a link in the description that will take you to the other readings, and so you'll be able to find your other placements quickly and watch them. If you want to schedule a private reading with me, there's a link in the description that will take you to my scheduling page, calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a fabulous December. Hope to see you in the January readings, as well as the dailies and the weeklies on the channel. Take care and be well, my darlings.